Hey traders, I was asked to do a video on by several people to explain how to use volume to trade stocks, okay, and how to identify which volume to take and which volume not to take. So some things I'm looking at here. So first of all, I'm going to go studies here, show you what studies I got on my chart here. I shared this in the group's TOS studies, so you're more than welcome to download this chart as is. Okay. You go under edit studies and then it'll show what I got on here. I got some labels, the IV percentile and stuff, previous day, high, low, and close, this on the monthly time frame. And then I've got the MA ribbon. The MA ribbon's right back here. Okay. Uh, yeah, this here is not going to show up because previous month is well above us here. Okay, so that's not going to show up on my chart. Slim ribbon. Okay, I don't have that one. Yeah, the slim ribbon I have on here too. So I have uh, both of these studies overlapping each other. You see how I'm using the 8, 13, 21. So I have both of these overlapping. So that way I can have the different colors on my ribbon. So I have two of them on there, and then I have the Elliott wave on my daily. Okay, that's my upper stuff right here. Okay, and that gives me these numbers and stuff. It gives me a count. It's a little bit different than what Johnny uses, but it's the one I found on the internet. So I'm using that one currently on this chart. And then at the bottom, I talked about it today, it's the volume hot percent. Okay. This is a little bit different volume profile. It shows uh, live, it's showing how many contracts are hitting on the bid, how many contracts are hitting on the ask. Okay. If it's hit on the bid, it's green. If it's hitting on the ask, it's red. Okay. That's as simple as I can put it. Okay. And and then I got that also shows the average volume going on in the current time frame. Okay. Okay, let me cancel this out now. So this morning at 9:56, I got into some Q puts actually, but I'm using ES right here. Okay, but I got in some Q puts, and I wanted to start with do ES here so you guys could really see what's going on here. Okay, and so basically 9:56, they got really similar chart patterns here. Okay, so very similar chart pattern with the Qs. Okay. Um, Oh yeah, one other thing on my drawings here. If I go out in a bigger time frame here so you can see it better, like 4 hour here. So on this drawing set right here, okay, I've got 3 Fibonacci's drawn, Fibonacci extensions drawn. So basically, I looked at last week high and low. I did a measured move, and then I went to the current high of this week, of today, of this week, and I anchored this week's extensions for the weekly extensions for fibs. Okay, and that's the white ones. I did the same thing on the monthly, high, low, weekly extensions. Those are the pink ones, or they're the purple ones. And then on the quarterly, I did the blue ones there. Did the exact same thing, high, low. Then looked at this quarter's high, brought the extension down. Okay, this is our current fibs. Okay, so anybody who's done fib extensions knows what I'm talking about. Okay, so what we're doing right now, right here, right now, and if you go out here on the 4 hour, the problem is with the quarter, you can't really see those. Whenever I zoom in, they kind of, well, maybe no, they just showing up. The 61.8, okay, the 61.8 right here, that has rejected. We were in here in the very low part of the trading zone. We haven't given up the 78.6 on the quarterly time frame on the extension. I mean, if we give this up, it is game on, people. So 35.60 is critical support. We start losing 35.60, it is game on to the downside. It's going to be, and honestly, I have a 3,400 target. I just did fib extensions on a quarterly basis. Look where it's projecting. Right down here to 3,400 on a quarterly basis. Okay, so be aware of that scenario going forward. Okay, now I'm going to zoom in real quick here on the 2 minute way I day trade this. Okay, and in this regard, what we got going on here. So August was a fairly robust month. Okay, and we kind of just fell apart here in September. And so we are currently 138, we were over 138.2% of August's. Today we were trading 138.2% of the August trading range. Okay, so we managed to put a double bottom in today and managed to rally back to that for the close, going into very, very critical PCE data tomorrow. Okay, number two, on the weekly time frame, okay, we are pretty well overlapping last week's trading range, okay, and we are currently at the 23.6, okay, and so if we were to rally to get back to last week's highs, that potentially is taking us up here to the 30, well, basically 37.30. Okay, so bottom line is, if we come in tomorrow and they don't just put it to the woodshed, there is a decent odds we're going to still see 37.30 or better before the week's out. So tomorrow is the last day of the month. We're extremely oversold still. Not the last day. We're going into the end of the month, and uh, last day of the week, and we're extremely oversold. Okay, so there is always that potential, given where we are on a weekly time frame, that we could bounce, back up because we have a double bottom scenario right here. Okay, so keep that in the back of your mind. Okay, so that's my overview on where we're at right here right now. Now I want to go into my trade. Okay, so basically, guys, so what we had going on here, I was out in the job site, and I had my chart here running, up and running, okay? And I actually had, well, I have to go to the NQ. I'm sorry. Let me go to the NQ. I'll show you what's going on here. I'll just use it. I've deleted everything on that one though, so I can actually use the NQ. Yeah, it's not on here, so I can use it. Okay, I can use it. Yeah. So 956. So basically, I came in here, and what I had identified, and some reason it's not showing up on my chart here. Maybe it was on the Qs I put it. Let me look. Let me double check. Yeah, there it is. It's on the Qs. Okay. What I had identified, I was getting in the Qs. This coming into today, this line right here represented the cash session week low. So this week's cash session week low was right through here. Okay. But we had already put in a lot of overnight inventory below that. So my thought was that, given what was going on in the price action, that we were going to be taking out the current cash session lows for the week. Okay, and based on my charts. Okay, and so what I did here, when I zoom in here, 956. Okay, so basically we knew this was the case. 956. I went short the Qs in a big way. Okay, it comes down, crashing down. It took me a little while to get going here. Once it got going, it came crashing down, and I sold right down here. Okay. I didn't know how far it was going to go, but I had already hit my targets for the day. I called it a day. And that was my trade, my big trade of the day. I did some losing trades in the afternoon, but that was my big trade for the day. Identifying critical levels that are likely to break, or in my opinion, there are high probability odds, especially whenever Apple was so weak in the morning and Apple support was lower. It was a really, in my opinion, a very strong candidate. Okay. So that all said, I'm already 8 minutes in here, and I haven't explained the how to use volume with price. Okay. So what I was looking at here, I will zoom. We'll go from the beginning of the day, beginning of the cash session. I'm going to start this here. I ignore the first. Uh, uh, well, honestly, I ignore the first 5 minutes or so. Okay, the volumes are so off. Sometimes I'll go 10 minutes. Okay, but what I saw here, that was my first main read after the first 10. That's 940. Okay, and like I showed today, I put time periods on here. Okay, boom. That was, and basically I'm looking for what's the problem here? I'm looking for volume above the average volume. Okay, but volume above average volume. If you start too early, the average volume hasn't had time to build up yet. Okay, so that was the first one I was looking at right there, 940. And like I said, I'm getting in at 956. Okay, and so what I was looking at here, and then duplicate, and then then I came over here. I looked at that one right there, and I saw what was going on here. They put that high volume in, and then we started wicking out. right after that high volume, we started wicking out into this resistance, okay? And then right here on the 952, okay, that was another above average volume. So that told me by 956, I had decided, hey, I'm gonna go ahead and short this, and for this setup right here, and it really played out. So that's what I look for. That's what I'm looking for in these trades. Okay, so some other things that I was looking at, okay, in these trades, uh, I was explaining this in the room today. Whenever you have this, you have a high sell signal right there. I put sell right here on my chart whenever I'm at home. I mean, I can't do it when I'm out on the job. Buy up here. That was a buy signal. And I'm only looking for things above the average volume, okay? I'm looking for these signals, buy signal. So this was our last buy signal. And we immediately came behind it was a sell signal, okay? So that completely negates the buy. Whenever that happens, you have a buy, then you have a sell right behind it. That completely negates that buy signal, okay? So what do I do in that scenario? I remove drawing. And in this scenario, whenever you have that scenario, I completely disregard, okay, activate, oops, I didn't want that. The best way of doing this is disregard this signal, damn it, activate, okay, and move on to the next signal. So that's your next signal right there, and it's a sell too, okay? So this is your next sell signal. We got another sell signal right there, sell, okay? So that's what I got going on here. And if I was around, I would have, that right there gave us a sell signal, and I could have stayed in this for quite some time here. You notice? And what you want to do is try to stay in these trades until you get a buy signal above average volume that's giving you a buy signal. That one there is getting close. Right there. That's your first buy signal right there. Okay. So you could do a double bottom. So basically you came down here, came back up, we got a double bottom in here. That's a really good sell point. That's something I look for. I would have made triple my money if I would have done that trade. If I'd have just waited for the double bottom, in that scenario, I could have done that, have been very well a very good signal there, okay? But ultimately, right there still is below average volume, but it's something you really got to pay attention to. You see how the average volume is coming down so hard here, and it just, you don't know how far that average volume is going to go down and stuff, but you got to be careful, mindful of, how this volume here was eclipsing all the prior 15, 20 minutes pretty well right at the height of the day in that volume. So you're looking at 20 minutes high, and it was almost all on the bid, okay? So that one there is a very critical level, okay? Duplicate, and that's your buy. That is, in my opinion, a relevant buy signal. And this is an art, okay, guys? I can't say what I'm showing you is, everything I'm showing you is absolute. I mean, you have to sit here, you have to feel the markets out. You have to, you have to figure out, you have to play with this. I mean, it is an art, and then this right here would be possibly a sell signal right there. Okay, this is, if I didn't know any of this, I would be putting a line right here as a potential sell signal. Okay, that would probably be giving me a duplicate right here, and then I type in sell right here. Okay, and as long as I don't have a real quick, within say 2-3 candles, I don't get a really quick reversal to take that out, then I would still consider that a valid sell signal. Okay, and then you just keep on going. Then you got a buy signal right here. Okay. But this is how you use volume. It's right here. This is how you can use volume to trade the markets. Okay. And so basically, so that I showed you the entry part. I don't want to keep going on here. I want to show you the power of doing trailing stops now. Okay. So let's say I went in here. Okay. I got the sell signal. Okay. this is my cross line on my sell signal. So my initial stop, okay, right here, should be right above where I got in, okay? So, you know how we're crossing this line now? As long as we do not, surpass the candle that I entered in on, I should be, because we have a new potential sell signal. Say, I don't know this immediately. I'm looking about 6 minutes into the trade here. I don't know this, but as long as this is my new stop, if I'm willing to give up that 6-8 minutes of profits, I can stay in this trade with a break-even stop on this trade. Okay, so that's my main takeaway on that. So we broke down here as I expected. Okay. So now what do I want to do going forward here? Let's say like we're getting to this point right here. We're basing sideways here. I'm not for sure what to do here. Well, I can raise my or lower my stop, activate. I don't want it to look back above. I don't want it to immediately look back above that break of the cash session. So I can come down here, right above the bottom of these wicks, move my stop down there. I'm into this trade, I'm into this trade about 12 minutes right here. So, we're looking 2, 6, 8. Yeah, about 10, 12 minutes, 10, 12 minutes into the trade. And now my stop's down here. So I'm guaranteed, no matter what, I am going to make a small profit on my trade. Okay. Then, what do we know from that? We're still in a solid sell signal. There is nothing down here that has given us any type of significant. We have not seen any type of buying pressure at all so far at this point. And we'll keep going. The selling pressure is continuing. Selling pressure is continuing. Right here is our first sign there might be some buyers stepping up. And look how we did this. We dojied out on that candle. Okay. That marked the low. You're right at the lows of the session. So you could have taken your profits right here. And you could use this volume indicator down here, to tell you, hey, we got some volume coming in here that matched, most of the highs of the morning volume so far, right here, after having a really nice down leg, and what is potentially a doji reversal candle. So this would be, if I was in front of my computer, would have been my trade, and that would have been my exit signal of the trade. And if I'd have run my computer, I could have made 3 times, at least double, if not 3 times my money by coming down, by just riding the trade and riding the system. Okay, guys? So I just wanted to show you that 17 minutes into the video. I don't want it to be too long. That's how simple it is. Okay? Play with it. Learn it. It's like anything. You're seeing a new technique, but you have to know the equity or security you're trading. You have to know the critical levels that, that price will interact. Just because I'm showing you this chart, I've got 3 other charts that I'm also keeping in the back of my mind. How price is interacting with my Ichimoku. How price is interacting with my EMAs and my SMAs. How price is interacting with my my core. See here, this cues critical levels. Where's critical levels? Yeah, critical levels. There it is. Yeah, see, with all my trend lines, I'm wanting to see how price is interacting with all this stuff. Okay, and that's really important to me. So we came down into, like I said, into a bottom of a channel area. Okay, today, and and we found an in the day bounce here, a little bit here, not much. See, we overshot my channel and came right back up into the bottom of that channel. Doesn't mean that we're not going to break down tomorrow, but I'm just saying there's more things going on here than just looking at that one aspect of the market. And I'm gonna jump in here. You need to have a really good working knowledge of the security that you are trading and be comfortable with the setup. Okay. So please like my video, leave comments below. I know a lot of people were in the room were really excited about what I was showing them. I've been training this for several weeks now. It's worked really well with me. But then again, I'm comfortable with it. And if you guys are having problem with it, step back. I know this system works in conjunction with educating yourself on other things. Okay, so be aware of that. Okay, so thanks a lot for listening to my video. Appreciate it.